sports fans, this is Robin Moser with Robin Moser & Associates and the Tipsy Realtors, all with RE/MAX Realty Professionals. And today we are talking about a cocktail called Fire and Ice and the Battle of Alberta. And because Anna has left me here alone, you have me and only me to talk to you about this amazing discussion about which market is better, Edmonton or Calgary, which is actually, believe it or not, a huge question we get nowadays because with so much growth in Calgary, people are wondering if Edmonton is the next place to invest. So we're going to talk about the different kind of points between each marketplace because you have to look at them on a very investment real estate scale to say which one is better, which one should I invest in, where do I want my money to go. So let's start with what we always start with, the cocktail. So you guys are going to laugh at me here because I am not a really big bourbon person. And I just realized I forgot my shooter. Hang on. Okay. So I'm actually not a big bourbon fan. But we are going to start with this glass with a big, huge square ice cube in it. And we're going to pour 2.5 ounces of this bourbon. Now, the reason why this bourbon's important is because Weller's, if you don't know, is the company that makes Pappy Van Winkle. Pappy Van Winkle? Yes, Pappy Van Winkle bourbon. Now, the only difference between Weller's bourbon and Pappy Van Winkle bourbon is the Pappy Van Winkle family picked that barrel to be Pappy Van Winkle and everything else was Weller's. So if you are a bourbon fan, you would know that this is some very, very nice bourbon that we're going to pour into our cocktail today. Now, I got this in Kentucky on one of my trips, so as you can tell, we have enjoyed it, but now we are going to probably use quite a bit of it into our last drink. So 2.5 ounces here, which means it's going to be a very strong drink, especially when you're doing straight bourbon at 2.5 ounces. So I'm going to guess it's a sipper. Not something that you want to guzzle, and it's certainly not for those who like alcohol-forward cocktails. Then we are going to now do the 1/2 ounce of Fernet Branca, which is kind of like a bitters, which is really what it is. So 1/2 ounce of this into the glass. 1/2 ounce of syrup. Oops, put the wrong thing down. 1/2 ounce of syrup into the glass. And 3 dashes of orange bitters. So 3 dashes of bitters into the glass. And then, this is kind of the tricky part. You take your orange rind and you're going to squirt it into the glass, but you're going to light this first and then squirt, and you'll see some sparks, and then you put it into the drink, and now you want to stir it. Now you can just stir it like this, which lots of people do when they're drinking bourbon, just gently stir it around the glass like this. Obviously, the other way you can stir it is if you wanted, you can stir it with a spoon or anything like that. So that is some of the different ways you can do it. And now, here we go. Let me give it a shot. Yep, it's smooth. I'm sure if you were a forward-facing drinker who really likes alcohol-forward drinks, this would be lovely. My husband would love it. I'm not that kind of drinker, but it is great bourbon, so that is the cocktail for today. Now let's go on to the big discussion about fire and ice and which real estate market is better. So there's a couple of things that you have to understand about the Calgary versus Edmonton market. And obviously one of the big things is climate. So its climate does make a difference in the desirability of the area, obviously. So in Edmonton, they tend to have a kind of more of a colder climate, not as many Chinooks, stuff like that. They tend to have temperatures in the September to Novembers around 0 to 5 degrees. Winter tends to be colder temperatures even more. And their sunny days can reach up to 35 degrees. Now, with Calgary, because it is in what is called a semi-arid desert, Calgary can actually have some pretty moderate weather because you have those warm kind of warm winds coming in from the ocean. So usually what we'll see is in June, we have mid to high temperature or average temperatures of around 20 degrees. We get a little bit more rain. Our temperature highs on average in summer can be 21, but we do have a drier climate. So because of that, our heat and our winters are more tolerable than they are in Edmonton. Now, so that's the big thing about the climate. Now, the other big things you have to look at is what are the economic factors to both of those markets. So economic factors meaning what's driving that in regards to why would people want to go there? Why do they want to put their money there? Why are they moving there? All that kind of stuff. So the biggest thing that pushes the Edmonton market is obviously the oil sands. So the oil sands is a huge market that's driving the Edmonton market. Something to think about is that tends to mean that you'll have more blue collar jobs, less kind of corporate jobs. Where Calgary tends to have more head offices, still driven by the energy sector, but those tend to be a little bit more corporate jobs, so a little bit higher paying, where Edmonton may have a little bit more moderate paying jobs, unlike Calgary, where because of those headquarters, we have more of the CEOs, more of the higher end corporate jobs. So because of that, that has shown a significant difference in the value of houses. Now, I've always said to people that Edmonton is usually about 25% cheaper than Calgary. Now, right now, the average price of a house in Edmonton is $462,000. But the average price of a house in Calgary is $642,000. So obviously about a $220,000 difference. What's interesting about this is a lot of people have kind of been projecting that we're going to see some pretty good growth in the Calgary market till by 2030. So about 65% is what they're looking at. So they're thinking in 2030, the average price of a home in Calgary is going to be $1.1 million. Well, they estimate in the Edmonton market that the average price of a house in Edmonton is actually going to see some pretty good growth, and that it's going to increase, that it's going to be increasing actually about 6% per year, which is funny because the Calgary average increase is about 6.25% per year as well. So those are kind of other things to think about when you're looking at those two markets, is they're really kind of growing at the same percent on average. But right now, between 2025 to 2026, they're estimating a 7.6% growth in Edmonton in regards to the average home price. Where Calgary, year over year, we have had some good growth, but in that 1 year time frame, because obviously I asked the internet the exact same questions, they're actually predicting that we will see, I can't remember all the numbers now because I'm getting old, that we're going to see in just 1 year about a 7% increase. So they're 7.6, we're 7, so we're kind of growing at the same pace right now. They are year over year. Last year saw a 6.4%. We saw a 10%. So those are the kind of things that we're seeing in kind of growth, that what you're going to see between the two markets. So really they're running at the same pace when you look percentage-wise. But something actually to think about is the fact that although they're running at the same pace, an average house price of $440 going up 9%, or an average house price of $642 going up 9%, Calgary does have that bigger 9% growth. So if you're looking dollars to dollars, they may increase more in Calgary than they do in Edmonton, but Edmonton might be a more affordable market for you to get into to get that investment property. And with it being blue collar, you might be more inclined to have a bigger rental pool than what you're seeing in Calgary. So that's giving you an idea of what some of the things that are going on between the two markets when you're making those deciding factors. Where's the growth? Why is the growth? What's driving it? All that kind of stuff. But if you really, really, really want to decide between the two markets, you just have to decide which market has the better hockey team. So that's all we're going to talk about today when it comes to the Battle of Alberta. And we are going to remind you that we, of course, will be on next week, and Anna will be back doing the Prime Inspector, maximizing your home inspection manual, which actually is a big deal because there's so much information in there that a lot of people get it and then they never open it again, and you really, really should. So please, we will have a home inspector on with us to help us discuss what is in the home inspection manual and how you can maximize that information. And of course, if you like and love our page, you will be entered to win this amazing smoker kit. Get the chips, get the big, huge rock ice cubes, get the thing that makes it fire up and get smoky. Get the thing that is going to make you have the best winter cocktails possible. And remember that if you like and share our show on any one of our social medias, you are entered every single time. And by doing that, liking, sharing, tagging your friends, all that kind of stuff, your name gets entered every single time, and you have an even better chance of winning the prize for the month of November, which is drawn in the first Wednesday of December. And it also makes a great gift if you're still looking for those gifts. What a great way to get a gift for someone that doesn't cost you anything. You can give it away for Christmas. So, of course, for anyone who likes our show, actually, I should do this first. Don't forget, you can go onto our Facebook page. It's tagged in the features. Buy our Conversation Cocktail Journal. You can follow along with the show. You can make the cocktails beforehand. You can take notes on the conversation. You can take notes on the cocktail. And then, if you're looking at buying or selling a house or have questions about it in the next 6 to 12 months or even longer than that, please feel free to give myself and Anna a call at the number on the screen. We're always here to help. It doesn't commit you to anything, but it's very, very important to get the right information when you need it. So please make sure to give us a call. We're always here for you. Tell your friends, your family, your coworkers, people you like, people you don't like, your neighbors, to give us a call, and we will make sure that we can help you any way we can. So, I hope you guys all have a great day. I know everyone missed Anna. I know you all know who the better hockey team is. And I can't wait to see you next week. But please have a great week. Enjoy the last of our fall that's coming. Thanks so much. Talk to you later.